I'm a dog guy. I'll always be a dog guy. I get along better with dogs than I do most people, you know, and that's just the reality of it. I was put on earth to race dogs and be around dogs. That's how I feel. I started in 2001. I had basically 22 dogs that belonged to me. I had a few others that didn't belong to me. I've had as many as 140 something on this property. That's not going to ever happen again. That's entirely too many, and it just at the time it was necessary for the amount of teams that I had. I had 3 teams in the Iditarod that year. You always have puppies. The up-and-comers, it takes 2 years for a puppy to become, mature enough to even run the Iditarod usually. Be nominated for ESPY Award. ESPN ESPY Athletes of the Year have different categories, and I was, mingling with the likes of Peyton Manning and, Jim Plunkett and all these great stars, Shaquille O'Neal and Michael Jordan, and I'm not in the same categories for what they accomplished, but I'm considered an athlete just like they are, and the recognition alone, that's huge. Late night with Conan O'Brien, doing different things. To me, it's very humbling. These are people that I see on TV on a daily basis on any kind of sports channel. My name might flash up there once a year. That's pretty impressive to be even mingling with people like that and them recognizing me and asking me about all of my success and accomplishments. That's pretty cool. There's no such thing as a day off in this sport. Every single day they need fed, cleaned, watered, and cared for. It's hard to go on vacation and ask your neighbor to watch one dog, let alone 40, 50, or 100, So it's pretty, it's kind of a selfish sport where you have minimal time to do anything except train and take care of dogs. If you're gonna be good at it. I mean, anybody can have 10 dogs in the backyard and go out on the weekends and have a great time or after work. But if you're gonna compete and succeed, to win the Iditarod, you have to dedicate 365 days a year to it. And that's what your main goal is. Every morning when you get up, you go out and feed dogs, you take care of dogs, you do all the chores, then you come in and get something to eat. There's no getting up and having coffee and sitting around for 3 hours because it's not all glamorous. There's some dirty sides to this job, and my biggest pet peeve is a clean yard. About the first part of November, we're starting to feed more meat. The handlers, including myself, are on the bandsaw cutting meat every day, as well as running and cooking dog food. And I say cooking dog food, we always have a 55-gallon drum going that has fish, rice, a lot of time beef fat, just different vitamins and minerals, variations, and we try to throw that in the cook pot as well. On the average, the kennel takes $60,000 to $80,000 a year to maintain and run properly with the pre-races, the travel expenses, the veterinarian services, and that's about a 50-dog kennel. You win the Iditarod today, you get $50,400. You pay for your expense for the year. So to win the Iditarod, you get a little bit of recognition and hopefully you find a little bit of endorsement. Each bag, I guess if you put a value on it, it'd be about $150 to $200 at minimum. And there's 27 of those. And that's not even including our gear. I put a brand new pair of socks and brand new pair of gloves in every bag. You're looking at $25 to $30 in that alone, let alone long underwear and extra pair of boots and a little parka or face mask. So you start looking at it like that and you're looking at $400 to $500 a bag times 27 for one race. We get a lot of that stuff back, our personal gear, but we get no dog food back. That's kind of a donation to the villages. From the time they're 3 days old, they get their very first introduction to veterinarian procedures. 6 days old, we give them 2 eye droppers full of worm medicine. At 3 weeks old, we give them worm medicine for the very first time, a full dosage. At 4 weeks old, we give them a parvo shot. At 6 weeks old, and then again at 8 weeks old, we give them the second and third parvo shot. Any kind of abnormal dog fight that causes an injury or sprained wrist or a sore shoulder. They're getting different anti-inflammatories, muscle massages on a daily, just depends on again, the situation. On their most active day, they could burn as much as 15,000 calories, depending on the size of the dog and the kind of train and the weather. But 10,000 is a pretty common day when they're working. 5 to 6 when they're just kind of sitting dormant. But it's still a lot for a dog. They don't just sit still. They're spinning around in circles or free running in the yard, whatever the case may be. You don't put 10 or 15,000 calories in one meal. It'd be like that. So we break it down into small little portions and feed them regularly, every 2 to 3 hours when we're racing. Snacking it, we call them, but it's more like a softball size or maybe a baseball size snack. And that snack has, 4,000 calories in it maybe, or 2,000 calories, depending on what the snack is, depending on what the weather is. Well, this is a sport. It's not based around personal goals. They are a dog. They're not a machine. Treat them like a dog and you'll get a lot of respect and a lot of satisfaction out of them. I talk to my dogs all the time and I feel that they communicate with me, so that's kind of how I go about it. I judge them on what they look like they're capable of doing or what their attitude is at the time. And I honestly don't know that there's one specific thing that makes the difference. But I believe there's a lot of little things that make the difference. And the fact that, I feed my dogs before I eat. I don't expect them to do something that's not above their ability. It's not about winning. It's about having a relationship, and communicating. And I feel that, again, I think I'm reading my dogs and their capabilities. If I don't think my team is up to, excuse me, I don't think that they're going to the Sheep Mountain or the Gin Gin or the Copper Base and they're not ready, I don't go just because I want to go race. So I feel that a lot of times that's just the difference. And again, they seem like small things, but they're probably pretty major. It comes fairly natural and effortless when people are putting in a lot more effort and time, and I'm kind of nonchalant and just wing it and go with the flow. What are you doing? Come here. You just want to be involved? Sit. You can sit right there. We'll get our little beagle loving. Oh yeah, here we go. No manners.